Hey, I'm interested in doing a video about our political structure, the dynamic of it, our government system, in a fun, energetic, dynamic, and knowledgeable way.
Okay, do it then.
I know, but based on our analytics, I'm not doing well in any video that has to do with politics. In fact, the only time my videos do well is when there's a black, educated, beautiful woman in the video.
You are barely 1/3 of that combination.
You are not helping.
You are not helping.
In addition to that, they would also have to be perfectly fine with me, spreading their likeness all over the internet in an effort to inform the masses on things they should know. And it's perfectly fine with me flipping their whole entire product and making a video out of it and expecting not even a dime from me in the event that I make money off of that video. I need someone who's perfectly fine with me exploiting them for all the knowledge that they have based on our government.
I don't know about that last part, but you definitely know women who can fit this description.
Do I?
Don't you?
But do I?
Don't you?
Yo, Pierre, you want to come out here? Nani?
Okay, guys, so let's talk about fact number one. The presidential election is not the only thing on the ballot this year. There are Senate seats, there are House of Representative seats, there are pieces of legislation both at the state and federal level that affect you and your way of life. So I just wanted to break some of that down. So you know that there are three branches of government. There's the legislative, which is where Congress, the Senate, the House of Representatives all fall under. And then you have the executive level, which is the president, the vice president, the cabinet that the president chooses. And then you have the judicial, which is the court, the judicial court system. So there's a lot going on with all of this, and that's why it's so important to vote. Hey guys, I'm back. So let's just talk about the legislative system today. Just breaking it down as simple as I know how, because I've got many other days to fill you guys in on other things. So let's think about Congress. It is two levels. We have the Senate and the House of Representatives. In the Senate, there are 100 representatives, 2 per state, and they represent your entire state. It has nothing to do with districts or anything like that. In this particular level of Congress, senators hold their seats for 6 years. So from the time of appointment to 6 years after, you have that amount of time to do your research. Like, are they legislating for things that you stand up for? Are they debating on your side for or against? I know for me, it's like minority rights. So if I find a senator who doesn't align with what I believe exactly, that's probably not the senator I'm going to vote for. Now we're going to talk about the House of Representatives. Now, there's more representation because we're not just doing it only by 2 per state. It's per congressional district. And each of those congressmen and women hold their positions for 2 years. So make sure you know the district that you're in, and also make sure that you're taking your census, because congressional district lines are drawn out by population. So it's really important that you're counted. I know a lot of people don't want to deal with the census people and asking all these questions. A few minutes out of your day makes a huge difference and really kind of helps you to know who you're voting for, who's representing you, who's going to pass bills and submit bills that affect you in your life or benefit you and others that you represent. For me, I know a really big deal is minority representation and laws that benefit communities like the Black community, which I am part of, that has been disenfranchised. So I want to make sure that I'm represented in Congress. I want to make sure my senators are standing up for what I believe in. I want to make sure that I have congressmen and women in the House of Representatives who are speaking on my behalf. I might not align with everything that they agree on, but I'm okay with, unfortunately, the lesser of two evils. I'd rather someone who aligns with more of what I believe than completely in opposition of bills and laws and legislation, whatever other words you want to use, that would continue to disenfranchise me or my people or my family. So make sure that you do your research. So I want y'all to remember that while the president does have a lot of influence, the power is really in Congress and in the senators that you vote and the House of Representatives. I mean, those are the people who are passing the laws that affect you. So make sure you do your research, know who you're voting for, and just stay woke, y'all. Y'all, happy Saturday. So today we are going to talk about the executive branch of the government. So that covers the president, vice president, the cabinet, and basically everybody that the president appoints. So starting off with president, that is the most powerful public figure and essentially person in the United States. He or she has the power to appoint judges, to appoint like our attorney general, our secretary of education, and other larger executive positions that are really important. Emphasis on judges. Okay, so big emphasis on judges. Most states elect their judges to their positions, but a lot of federal courts are appointed by the president, which is why it's so important to remember that your vote isn't just for one person. It is for many people who essentially could keep their jobs until they die. So, or unless they do something really wrong, consider it like just cause for dismissing them. But it's really hard to get rid of people in positions of appointment that give them a lifetime tenure. So when you're going to the polls, remember, you're not just voting for one person, you're voting for many people. Vice president, the president's cabinet, many judges, which essentially are setting precedent for laws in your states and federally. Okay, but do your research and make sure that you know who you're voting for and what they believe in. I know for me, when I think of laws that have been put in place and precedent that has been set, I want someone who's going to appoint people who are just and right and give people a fair chance to live this American dream that we pride ourselves on. I think that having judges that are impartial and fair is really important. And I know I'm talking about the executive branch today, but I just want to harp on the fact that the president picks judges. Like, that's very big. And I'll talk about state judges later in the state level. Another really big thing to keep in mind of when you're also thinking about like voting for president is just thinking about their stance on our educational system. The president also appoints the Secretary of Education when school ends, because not everybody works a salaried job where they can come and go as they please. So just keep that in mind because it's so important. Also, equal education is even more important. Like, I cannot harp on that enough.